the Strauss & Company October online auction, I've chosen 2 paintings, and both these paintings are by well-known South African artists. The painting on my right here is a painting of a beautiful indigenous South African bush with a Cape robin chat underneath. And this artist is, I'd actually say, world famous, but not necessarily known for his painting work. This is the work of none other than Dylan Lewis, our famous South African sculptor. This work was painted in 1994, and Dylan Lewis in 1989 attended the Ruth Prowse School of Art in Cape Town. And he has always had an intense love for the wilderness and the South African bush. And in this painting we see this beautiful little Cape robin, which its behavior is that it hops around under trees and forages for food. And although the main essence of the painting is not the bird, that is exactly what we're drawn to. And Dylan Lewis has used a very loose painting style. It's an oil on canvas, and he has loose brush strokes that depict this beautiful rufous and grey feathers with the white eye stripe of this pretty little bird. And I'm comparing that to this painting here, which is of these 2 goats. In Afrikaans they're called Boer. And this painting is by another famous South African artist, and that is the work of Leigh Voigt. And the difference between the 2 is that Dylan's is more sculptural in feel, which we see that he later went on to become this incredibly renowned South African sculptor. That painting has more of a sculpturally feel to me. And the Leigh Voigt, she is technically absolutely brilliant. So it's another oil on canvas, but in this, it's the fine, fine detail that she gets. Almost every hair of these Boer is beautifully depicted in this painting. And in her painting, the subject is really the goats, whereas in Dylan, you've got more of a feel for the area, and here you have a feeling for the absolute, the objects, or the subjects, which are the goats. Both artists come from very artistic families. Dylan Lewis's father was also a famous sculptor, and his name was Robin Lewis. And we are very lucky to have on this October live sale, which runs from the 12th to the 19th of October, one of Dylan's father's sculptures. And this is this beautiful bird sculpture over here. So you can see the influence that Robin Lewis had on his son, Dylan Lewis, the artist there. And interestingly, Leigh Voigt's mother was a famous botanical South African artist, and her name was Barbara Jeppe. And of course, it goes without saying that Leigh Voigt is married to Harold Voigt, another very famous South African artist, and her son Walter Voigt. Also, his works quite often come to the Strauss & Co. auction platform. And both artists have achieved a lot. Dylan Lewis is represented in collections all over the world, particularly his beautiful big bronze sculptures. And I'm happy to say that on our Strauss & Company November live sale, which will be taking place obviously after October, we have 10 examples of very exciting Dylan Lewis sculptures coming up for sale. So that's something really to watch out for. And Leigh Voigt is famous for many things, but amongst them is the collaboration that she had with the author Marguerite Poland on a book called The Abundant Herds, which I'm sure many of you have seen or may even be lucky enough to have in your collection. And in that book, she collaborated with Marguerite Poland for 9 years and researched Nguni cattle. This painting is painted in 2008 after the Nguni cattle book came out. And for me, it very much has a feel of our African herd animals, and you can feel the same painterly quality that she has in the Nguni book in this wonderful painting of the 2 goats. Two absolute favorites of mine for the October online sale at Strauss & Company.